Hello everyone, this is Charles Folkard. It's December 22nd, 2016. Welcome. This is a follow-up video on my two previous video on how I think they use the Tesla coil technology to fake the zero gravity on the ISS. I'm becoming more and more every day convinced that there is no such thing as gravity. And Nikola Tesla, boy, he was a very, very interesting and very intelligent man. He had a mind for science, and that's probably why we never hear about him. In the middle of this video, there's about a 4-minute section where the article is on the screen, and you can pause the video if you like to read that. And it's believed by many that Nikolai was murdered, and they acquired his information, his notes. But you can read that if you like. I find this topic very interesting, and I hope what you see here is helpful. Okay, let's go.
You feel this little zapping, this tingly sensation, and you smell ozone. The Tesla coil is actually creating ozone. Today we're going to talk about Tesla coils and my Tesla coil levitation performance. And I'd like to thank you in advance for subscribing. And when you subscribe, it's important that you check the little box that says send me all notifications from this channel. That way you get to stay up to date with all the crazy adventures I'm getting myself into. New video most every Wednesday. A Tesla coil is an electrical resonant frequency circuit invented by Nikola Tesla. It produces high voltage, low current, high frequency alternating current. The initial intention behind the Tesla coil was that it would be able to power lights and appliances remotely. From my performance with Circus Amperion, you can see the Tesla coil is powering those fluorescent light bulbs. The only problem is if you get too close to the Tesla coil, it will severely shock you. So the scientific principle that this levitation is using is the Hutchison Effect. Now, John Hutchison, who discovered this, did experiments where he was able to levitate objects, melt metal, and ignite things with the Tesla coil. However, John Hutchison has been severely discredited by the scientific community because many of his experiments could not be accurately replicated by other scientists. So there's a lot of controversy over the Hutchison Effect. I urge you to research it on your own. And you have to wonder, Nikola Tesla was discredited severely during his time by Thomas Edison and other scientists, and by major banks and businessmen. You have to wonder, what is it about these inventions that Tesla created that people are afraid of? So John Hutchison was able to ignite things, to blow things up with the Tesla coil, or to melt metals. And he was also able to levitate objects. And he was also able to levitate objects. And he was also able to levitate objects. You see, when you're able to harness the Hutchison effect, this is a tremendous power.
Levitation of steel, steel ball bearings, glass. I've seen levitation of steel, steel ball bearings, glass, where they will levitate. Unbelievable. I've seen electricity go right into the objects and a million pieces just fly apart.
In fact, using only 75 watts of energy, enough for a small light bulb, Hutchison made a 60-pound cannonball rise off the table. It would also fuse dissimilar materials, heat metal but not burn the wood it sat on, shatter metal as well as change its crystalline structure. This was something to write home about.
Beginning of 1980, experimenting with all the electromagnetics and electrostatic equipments I had at the time, I started to notice some very, very unusual effects, such as a room being filled up very quickly with multicolored lights, steel bars sitting on wood and not causing any fires, metal turning to jelly, things levitating, and jumping off to the ceiling, or simply go up, hover, and then fall back down.
Dubbed by some as the poltergeist machine, there is no one machine, just a lot of old Army surplus gear, randomly tuned by John. No one knows how it works. John has apparently figured out the right combination of radio waves and electrical energy to create the effect. If it could be proven, its impact would be huge. You'd have to rewrite most of the science textbooks. An example of this kind of random event happened in 1989, when a visiting Vancouver news crew was setting up at John's lab to film the Hutchison Effect. The target area was that yellow crate with the metal objects. But to everyone's shock, a sponge in the back of the room took off into the air and then fell back down. John didn't actually see it and was genuinely surprised.
Like that, it went up and hit the ceiling 1 second, maybe 2 seconds, and then came down.
You can't be kidding.
No.
Well, some time ago I was doing some testing and got into some big trouble after I levitated a toy UFO and some other objects.
Apparently, John's experiments were lifting objects in nearby homes, and the neighbors called the police.
The police came full bore in here with engineers, inspectors. They photographed all the equipments very carefully. It's almost like if you called in a cleaning crew. They didn't touch anything. It's like they made everything look neater for some strange reason.
It seems like someone in the shadows still cares what our hero is up to. Frustrated by authorities and lack of recognition, John has been spending time developing his new project, batteries that last forever, based on the somewhat bizarre zero-point energy theory.
Well, thank you for watching. As we embrace the love of the truth, we are given more truth. I wish you the best, and may the grace of God be with us all, because we certainly need it. See ya.